Well, good evening, ladies and germs. How the devil are you?
Hello, hello. How
It's
much
been a
time?
while. It's been a while, isn't it?
Sí.
It's been way too long.
Too long.
Way too long in English and way too long in Spanish as well. Well, welcome to us tonight. It's the 4th of May in the year of our Lord.
Reproduciendo en Assumpta Serna Scott Cleverdon 5.
Well, there you go. That's Alexa for you. If we can just get Alexa to do that.
That is Alexa out?
Yeah, is it?
I don't know.
You obviously opened it for some reason.
Turn Bluetooth off, disconnect, everything. Okay.
Okay,
That's
right.
it.
One of those great things that happens when you think everything is automated and is not automated the way you think it is. How are you doing, Assumpta?
Hard to say.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's just kick on with tonight because so tonight we're going to talk about when will I ever stop casting. You ready to do the credits?
Yes, of course.
All right, do your thing.
No, do your thing.
All right, you get to. Well, you see, I have to do two. I always hit the button.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But you can hit the button this time if you want.
We're gonna talk.
You want to hit the button?
Casting, right?
Yeah, you want to talk about the button? You want to hit the button?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the button there.
Okay.
All right, so this is what we're going to do. You ready? So I go, when will I ever have to stop doing auditions? Well, today we got on LinkedIn, we got Cristina Inés Costa Mendrano, who's asking if we're going to do it in English. Yes, we are in English today.
Today is Thursday, right?
Yeah, today's Thursday. Thursday in English. That's the story, Morning Glory.
That's the fact.
So, Assumpta, we were just discussing this as we were before we came on about an hour ago. The lengthy debate about auditioning. Can you remember? There's a story you always tell. You were auditioning for House of the Spirits, Billy August,
who was a director that I think never won. Still didn't won Cannes at the time or anything.
Well, I think he did Pele the Conqueror, no?
Or Pele the Conqueror. Yes,
I think that's what he was famous for.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But he didn't win all the awards that after he did anyway. So I went to casting to play one of the roles that they were very interesting. But at that time they were giving you the script, and so I saw there in the casting with me Glenn Close, and I said there is something profoundly wrong in this town. If Glenn Close, that at the time I think I had 2 or 3 Oscars, has to be here seated with me, it's really wrong. And really, yes, it was wrong, it is wrong, and it will be wrong. Because there is no other way that you can say that. Until when we have to prove our capacity of being actors. Until when directors will not know if we are good actors or not by seeing our work, by watching our work. Until when CEOs are not going to understand that that is really dishonest proposition. When they're going to understand that our work is really to learn the lines and, prepare yourself as a character. That means that is, half part of our job. And I don't know why we shouldn't do it for free. I still don't know. I will never understand for more justifications that casting directors tell me. Directors. I think that after 5 leading roles, people have to understand if you're a good actor or not. And if they think that, you cannot do this role, then they should interview you, give you all the information that there is in the role and discuss and see exactly, the line of commitment that you have towards that job. And if it's high enough and if it's really with passion that you get into the job, then, then it's and there is 3 actors that they have the same passion, then, well, you have to decide. But, after a while, it's really very, how you say, vejatorio.
Disrespectful?
Disrespectful to really make to do that, I don't have another way to put it. I don't think that is good for anyone. This having to tape a scene for be able for them to consider you is not the thing that we should consider the actors with experience. I'm sorry, but that's how I feel it. I think that the quality of, let's say, in Spain, I don't know, Glenn Close or Meryl Streep can give to a job is completely different of my energy and whatever I can bring into the table. And you can see that by the jobs, that by what I've done already. I've done more than 200 movies. It's not fair. It's not fair because in every movie, more or less, I do my best, I do my 100%, and I feel that I'm never at 100% in a casting. And believe it or not, that's what the people want to see, this 100%. And I'm sorry, but it's why you're not paying me for this. I know that now there is a strike of writers. There should be a strike of actors with experience that they say no to these castings for Christ's sake. That's how I feel. I'm sorry. So, your question, how you're feeling today? Bad, because I have to do one of these castings just for my agent, who is a darling. But
you wonder what the noise is? It's because I got the flu and I'm sneezing.
Yes, and still you're here. Yes.
I'm here. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one because there are certain times where I know if I did an audition, I would never have got the job. But the thing is, there's very different things. You did your job by doing it. That's how you got to where you are. The world has changed, and not necessarily for the better.
And it's going to be
certainly
every
an
time
issue.
worse if we don't stop that. I'm sorry. Why Meryl Streep? Why Glenn Close have to do these casting things? Why?
Well, one, from my point of view, there's an element of perversity here that we could say.
Absolutely.
There's an element of showing one's power. That's certainly a thing there. There's another thing where there's a lot of money riding on everything, so everybody needs to be convinced one way or another. To go in and do to become a series regular, you always had to jump through hoops for the executives.
Yeah, well, have an interview with these people, face to face. Let's discuss the job. Let's discuss the role. Let's discuss a lot of other things that are much more interesting than to do an audition for something that you don't know, that nobody gives you any reason to do it, that you are completely, well, not at this time because, you have your experience and you know what they want. But really, even if, I don't know what the director wants. Nobody, for more descriptions of the character, if I don't have it there, I cannot see. My interpretation is also, my acting is also, due to not only to me, but people around me, that they want it in a certain way, and I can modify it. I can actually, perform for them at that time. And if it's another acting is going to be there, and that is what it should be. And this flexibility of an actor to be able to give things in certain conditions, in a certain context, is what this malleability is what it makes us great. And if you only present one thing, is really not fair. What they're going to see, they say, they did a very good acting. They don't even know how to recognize that, because if not, they would do it for my 150 movies or 227 projects that I fucking did in these 40 years of my work.
Careful now.
Sorry. It's like... Anyway, how do I feel? Not too good today.
And if you think that's bad, I'm the one who has to live with it and try and fix it.
That's true.
So I'm the one who has to be editing and subtitling until the wee small hours of the morning with somebody who's not particularly happy about it at all.
The process is just crooked and unfair. And it's not, I prefer, to do other jobs. It's like, why is everything like that so, disrespectful? That's the word. Anyway, I'll fucking do it.
Okay. Do you have any advice on the castings or something for people who might have to do one? Just,
Enjoy, yes. That is a good one. Yeah, I think you can do that. I can't.
Enjoy?
I can't, really.
But you went audition. You went audition for Zemeckis. That you said that was a good experience. Apart from the fact that they gave it to somebody else at the end of the day. Exactly.
That's what they and it was not because the poor guy Zemeckis wanted me, but the Isabella Rossellini was a better name. So if you have that, of course, why you do a test? Why you make the actress go all the way from Paris to meet you? If you have another person that, of course, is the choice for prestige, for whatever at that moment that was for Isabella Rossellini, because has a surname that the people can recognize, and they think that is going to bring people into the cinema. So, yeah, or because she did the publicity campaign of Lancome. Okay, good, great, go ahead, have the part, but she was dressed like me in the in the test. I gave the director many lines that they were used, and she dressed like I was in Matador, because he was the one who really wanted that character. So I don't know. It has to be some intellectual property there, but of course, nobody considers that. So yes, it's in. I'm not saying that it has to be fair, but it has to be more fair. No, please, let's do it. Let's do it between, the people that they have name and they have popularity. They should say no to a lot of other things, to a lot of things that, they have to put that into the minds of the people who sign the check. We are not, a commodity. We do a service. And this service is our work, our jobs for the people to dream. And you don't do that by creating a completely unbalanced position for the actor.
So, what would you tell a casting director who is being asked to make you audition? What would you say to them? Because they too have their own pressures. They're being asked by other people, and
they should say. She would be so great, but the problem is that she's not going to do a casting. So whatever you want to, see of her, I have here this, I have here that, I have here this. I have 127 movies for you to see. But don't make her do that. That's what they have to do.
Okay, so
so there is another one that is going to do it. Okay, and they prefer to have that. Okay, so go ahead. But it must be people that they think like me. There must be people out there that they think that's respectful. This is respectful. So those are the people who I want to work with, not with the others. That's my position. But anyway, that's what there is.
Well, that's inspiring. That's a positive note for all concerned.
I don't have positive notes for the people that, only just to be together and to say no. Saying no is much more powerful than to say yes all the time. You know that. But it seems that we lost this position very long time ago. And we cannot express because we are so. I cannot go and have a phone call with the producer, the CEO, or even the casting director right now. It's like such a poor condition such a this balanced position. Anyway, one of these days, perhaps, next generations are going to see that like an abuse of power, and they're going to fight against it. I hope so.
So you've never had a positive experience auditioning?
Not really.
No?
I don't think it's a good thing, I don't think it's a good thing.
You don't think anybody should audition?
Well, I think when there is other ways, I mean, we've been with what now? 5,000 people, 5,000 actors that they want to be actors. You know, for the moment you talk a little bit with them, how are they and how, and if you see their work, you see so much. Why you don't educate yourself to actually see it that way, To see if an actor is good is you have to have also some criteria, and this is what perhaps is lost. That's perhaps what is not there in the schools. Nobody talks about it, It just because I like it, because I like him, because I like her. It's not a question of liking, The job is better than that. The actors are better than that. And I hope the directors are better than that. They should know when something is good for the part by seeing their previous work. And the people that they don't have any work, they now have plenty of video books and scenes, and internet is full of it, and TikToks, and you can see so many things by doing this. Okay, perhaps you're not going to have time to revise everything. Okay, why you have to revise everything? Why you don't accept that, I'm only going to look 40 actors. And who are these 40 actors? Well, let's have a criteria, one by each agency. In Spain there is 45, I think, agencies that they work. Well, let's do that.
Cheery stuff.
I'm sorry, Scott.
No, I don't expect anything less. Just a question. When you started out, how did auditions work back in the day? When you started out, Dagom, or for your first movie jobs?
I think that when you are young, you have all the curiosity also of a work of doing jobs that you don't understand so well, or situations that you didn't live, or producers you're gonna meet, directors you're gonna meet. But after a while, you more or less, if you do research, who is who, and then you lose this illusion of doing things by doing things. You just want to work with certain people, and you are entitled to do that as a professional. But yes, at the beginning, I understand, you have this curiosity to understand what is in there in the other part of the wall. But, when you've been crossing this wall many times, you don't need that curiosity anymore. It's like, okay, I've done enough.
So do you think there's a better way to audition actors or to do castings for actors even when they're starting? What would be the best way to do it?
Well, the best way to do it is just, talk to them, really understand what they are up for. If you give them the information, they're going to come up with ideas, with things that, perhaps they are so far away, and you have to see if this actor that you have in front of you is flexible or not. And that is something that you can do in a conversation, not necessarily by working for free.
You do understand that there's certain parts of, after callbacks and auditions, they do actually begin to pay you, apparently.
Good. And that's in America, not here.
Yeah, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff that we don't have here either,
Yeah.
In terms of working conditions, in terms of residuals, in terms of intellectual property rights, there's a million different things, bits and pieces that
doesn't work like they work. They do. Like, the ethics are
Well, that's the power
involved.
of. Well, they also got the power of collective bargaining, as we see right now. The writers' strike is kicking off, and what's happening there is they have incredible power right now, to the extent where the writers who need to write on a daily basis, for example, in the late night shows, Jimmy Kimmel, the Late Show, Late Show, the Late Show, even Later Show. All of those shows are pretty much on hiatus right now until the writer's strike's over, and they're going to start doing reruns. That's how vital the job of the writer is.
Of course. But we as talent, it's the last thing that is considered now. It's all, this kind of industry of bluff.
Of bluff?
Yeah, bluff.
What do you mean by bluff?
Yeah, because, if everything is done by, bluffing. Okay, I have 400, I have 800, I have 300, I have 100, I can do that for, it's a bargaining job of things that they are not in the air,
I don't understand. 300 of what?
Well, whatever. I can give you for this amount of money that you're paying me this thing. It's all the bargaining of all the departments, and even the director, I can give you that. Oh yeah, 4 weeks. Yes, I can do that for 4 weeks, of course. I can do this for 4 weeks. No, I can do it for 3.5. Well, actually, I can, if we are going to another location, perhaps I can still do it for 2 weeks.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question, and it's interesting because we're going to do it live in front of the people right now. Is there a way to resolve, for example, what we have to do to record this this tape today to actually make it something other than a dreadful experience?
It's not going to be dreadful, once on it, and I'll be there. But,
well, let me just change that. Dreadful experience for me.
For you. Sorry. I cannot disguise with you, right? You want me to disguise?
No, I'm the only animal, human being, creature that you have nearby, and it's the only thing that you can express any form of animus towards. So I'll suck it up. That's what I'll do. I'll suck it up, Buttercup, and put my head down and get on with it.
I'll try not to be disagreeable. That's all I can. You have to understand that it's not with you, the violence, or it's not, it's with the situation.
You heard it here first, okay? Violence. So if I end up in the hospital, you know why.
No, I mean violence in, with the situation, the conflict that they have. Anyway, let's enjoy.
Yeah. You don't have anything positive to say?
Well,
it was never a casting director that you knew that you liked? Never an experience.
Casting directors don't give jobs.
No, I know, but at least they were honest and transparent and direct with you. You know what I mean? The trouble is everybody's over a barrel. Everybody's got a gun, somebody else's gun to their head, and they're trying to move forward. There's only so much they can fight for and so much they can do, in theory.
Yeah.
It's like the injustice of it all is affects absolutely everybody.
Yes, and everybody's fine with it, and everybody.
And
everybody goes.
I don't think everybody's fine with it. I don't think everybody's fine with it at all. I think that's one of the issues, is that the people aren't fine with it, but they end up doing it anyway because they're not given an alternative. The alternative is to not do it, but there'll always be somebody who will do it. That's the problem.
Yes, but that is like the unions in the 18th century. What we have to do then?
What do you mean the unions in the 18th century?
Yes, when they were fighting for a job, and they were saying, "Oh no, I'm sorry. If you don't do it, another one will do it." So yes, €5, it's enough. Well, there has been limits. People had fought for things, People had really,
Yeah, but but this is outside of that. This is pre-working. No, this is pre-working conditions. The working conditions are established. This is how you get to the working conditions. The working conditions are positive. They're equal for amongst everybody. The basic pay is reasonable. The conditions are reasonable. The travel is everything is reasonable. It's this particular part of the process.
That they have a certain experience, they are not equal with the people that they don't have any experience or any tuition or anything. They are not the same. Even if we want to equalize the world and, equality for everyone, there are certain things that they are there, which is the experience that you have in something. You simply are a little bit better because, you had done it. Don't think so?
No, of course. There is a competence hierarchy here. The people who have experience, the people who've done it, and everything else. So,
why these people should have to prove every time.
Well, I think that's the wrong way to think of it. I think it's folly to think of you having to prove your quality as an actress anyway. And I think this happens to young actors, and it happens to actors with experience as well. Is that they're under the impression they're trying to prove how good an actor they are. That's not it.
Sorry, if it's because then what is the physical appearance? Okay, I'm going to give you a physical appearance. I'm going to give you a picture. I'm going to give you a photo.
Is the opportunity? No. Listen, Assumpta, that we're basing very, very large decisions on on what is effectively, hearsay.
Talk to people. Talk to them. Until you find someone that clicks with you.
Let me say one name for you. Anne Parillo.
I don't know her.
Anne Parillo, who was in La Femme Nikita, Luc Besson. Mm-hmm. She was in love with Luc Besson, and he shot the film in order so she could do well. Mm-hmm. Okay, Anne Parillo. What happened was that the quality of her performance in La Femme Nikita wasn't actually an indication of the quality of her performance as an actress. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm giving you an extreme outlier there. Because what happened is that I'm sure she finally worked out how to do the damn thing, but initially it was all done to give her a leg up, as it were. Okay, I've also seen it goes the other way. I've also seen people who've been heavily coached for a casting, for an audition, and they go in and they're very, very good, but they can't alter or change anything. They've made one choice, and that's what they're going to do, and they're going to be damned if they're going to do anything else. And that's the thing there.
But this flexibility, you can see it also when you talk to them, or not, or lack of it.
You can?
Yes, you can see how, the person is malleable and how this person is. Of course you can. You and me, we know that. We know the problems we're gonna have with an actor before he starts to perform, of course. There is some certain attitudes, there is certain choices that the people do in life that they give them also some qualities or not qualities about the job that you're going to undertake, and that's what you should, you should. It's one of the criteria that you should have when you hire an actor, the possibility of working with him or her, and that is something that you have to be informed, and that doesn't need, in reality, a test or a proof of it. No.
Yeah, so basically you either have to accept the way it's supposed to be done or step away from it and give up any possibility of doing anything again.
I think that's my choice, and it had been for the last 25 years.
And what do you gain by doing that?
Other things that interest me more. And I am only working with the people that I like to work, or the people that consider my work.
So why do you even bother with the other things?
In that case, because, I feel bad for my agent. Because I know she fights and she wants, And a lot of things that I do, they are for agents to not lose face.
But it's always been like that, isn't it? That
Yeah.
we do things to please our representation.
Yeah.
So what should we do in that particular case? Tell them to go take a long walk off our
They
short
cannot do
pier?
anything, poor things. They are still more sold to the devil than we are. They really are completely out of the picture. Unless they don't do packaging, or unless they are co-producers, or unless they are executive producers of a show, they really have little say, I mean, they cannot even fight for their own actors, because you have actors with no experience, with no tuition, with anything, that they are well known by casting directors who get the job. So, they have very little room to actually do their job too.
So there's nothing to be done apart from throwing in the towel. That's what we're saying.
I mean, I'm doing a code of ethics. I'm saying all these things. There is a particular thing that I say when the actor it has more than 5 protagonists, shouldn't have an obligation of doing a casting, and I really believe so, and I think that has to be put out there, into the minds of the people, to understand that is a disrespect. Yes. And I think that, there's a lot of things we can do. Of course we can do a lot of things. We are the actual group of people, the actors, that they are more numerous in a movie. That means something. That always had meant something in business. You are more than something, you have more power, or not. Why we don't have this power? Because we don't want to have it, or because we throw the towel? Well, we throw the towel and, we just say yes to everything. But it shouldn't be that way. It's like, it's like all the abuse that we have, sexual abuses and all this. We allow that to happen. How many times, you find a director that abused you in the way that, that the bad words, yelling, etc., and you are still there because,